All right, we are live. Welcome. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Let me message the channel to let everyone know that we are online and ready to go. Hello and welcome. This is the Alpha Impact daily, almost daily, not quite daily, but almost daily AMA. Lovely to be here with you this evening. So we're just getting started. We've got a couple more people joining in just a moment. So I'm just going to be making small talk on the group chat. So, okay, AMA live. All right, we're on. Hi guys, welcome. So what we'll do is let's do a quick screen share, take a look at the markets. It's pretty red out there. I'm not gonna lie. It's just, it's craziness. So let's take a look. All right, so where are we here? This is the BTC USD 4-hour chart. Now you recall last week we were talking a lot about this, what we were seeing, which was a, oh. Okay, I'm not on mute. I often mute myself, and I'm happy to say I'm not on mute. So last week, and I just want to do a quick check. Is the audio okay? Can folks who are watching just let me know in the comments? I want to make sure everyone can hear me nice and clear because we do sometimes have some audio issues. So what's the big picture? So we were looking over the last, let's say, week or so at this descending wedge. You see it's been hitting nicely along the top. We had a rejection of that wedge and then we hit. We said when we said about here, we think we're going to actually go down. So we did go above 40 on some days. We said, you know what? We expect that we're actually going to retest. We've now gone below that and we're now effectively right on the line. We've seen a rejection of that. We didn't go down south of the, although it looks like it's tanking right now. Let's zoom in. We didn't go below this line, this rising weekly support. So you can see here, we did go below and then it bounced above. Obviously difficult to do technical analysis on this short of a timeline. Markets responding today, of course, to the news from China that the third largest Chinese bank has banned its customers from using crypto. Still shows you that we're in a very sentiment-driven environment right now. Markets are kind of looking for bad news, and of course, sometimes they find them. Sometimes it's Elon, and sometimes not. So let's zoom back out. I'll just go back to the comments. I need to make sure everyone can hear me. All right, the D, Jan K, nice to see you. So where are we? We're in this beautiful downward, it looks like a downward channel. We're expecting, I mean, we don't have enough information right now. I mean, look at this. This is just like a fantastic collapse. But we're seeing support at that level. So be interesting to see where we stand. We did see it actually go down and then bounce back up. So let's see what happens. Let's take a zoom out and actually look at where this has been in the history of recent. So we're looking all the way down here at the bottom right now. We've seen this increasing trend line Just actually the last little while this was breached, but it was breached a little bit here. So um, even if we are in the bear market and that's it, the top is in, we're never going to go higher, at least in this cycle, we would still expect a recovery. It is looking oversold out there right now. So that's Bitcoin. Let's take a look at Ethereum. We'll go through and talk about our token in a moment. Let me just go back and see. All right. So Ethereum, similar trend. I don't actually spend a lot of time looking at Ethereum, so let's just see if we can do some on the fly. And you know what? I apologize for how ugly some of these lines are. It's just, it's kind of a bad habit. All right. So you could actually argue that we are in a essentially flat or slightly rising support. And you could draw another one. This is a pretty clear downward wedge. So similar to what we've actually seen in BTC. Although honestly, we never see a downward wedge like that just stays going down. Even if this were, even if we'd hit the top of the market, we'd still be expecting a retest. So let's just go back to BTC. Let me explain what we're expecting. And of course, this looks like a shitcoin exchange. Coinbase, that's a little better. So what we've, sorry about that. If I've offended anyone. So what we would expect, and as I've mentioned previously, when we see rapid decrease, we always see not a retest, but we see some modest recovery. So we would actually expect that prices will recover into the high 40s. We've actually had a death cross over the weekend. So let's maybe look at that. We'll come back to that later. Let's go back to take a look at the Alpha Impact token. And screen share off. Oh gosh, that's embarrassing. Sorry, guys. Show on screen. Okay. So, as I mentioned, we're seeing that this has been a slowly rising support line. You can see it hasn't been breached. We've come down quite dramatically. We expected that it would retest and come back to this line, and then it's now gone down and is now kind of looking at that line there. So we're expecting that markets will bounce back up. We've had let's go to the daily. We've had a death cross over the weekend, which is, of course, a sign that, oops, let me just get rid of this. Yeah, so what I'm referring to here is this. It's the 50 daily moving average crossing beneath the 200. The previous times that this has happened, it's been kind of a mixed bag. Let's go back and look. Let's go back. This is 2018. So the death cross previously so there's a couple things to look at here. So number one, we actually look at the price, not the market price at that time, but the market, effectively the price at which the death cross happened. So if you look to the right here, on the right-hand side, you'll see that this was around 9.3K. This was after a massive decline in Bitcoin. And, it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. You see the death cross, and then you see this massive sell-off, prompted by a recovery to, look at that, about 9.8. So I would expect at least a recovery to that level. 2019, we saw numerous death crosses and golden crosses. So we actually saw, where were we here? So we saw a death cross. Sorry, bear with me. Here, which is actually a bullish move. So the market at that point actually went up and then down, and then a golden cross, and then another death cross. So that's been a mixed bag. Let's go back to previous market cycles, because I think this is an important psychological kind of point in the market. And Coinbase doesn't go that far back. Bummer. All right. Well, we'll have to leave it there. I'll just go back and check. Hi there, Tom. Nice to see you. All right, let's look at the Alpha Impact chart. Of course, not much different to the Bitcoin chart. So we saw some tapering off, and then we're finding new lows. But hey, Bitcoin is finding new lows, so it is what it is in this crazy market cycle. We're seeing a lot of people sell, these denominations of tokens, these sells. This is someone from Super Farm. Where is it? This is someone from Card Starter. So we're actually seeing people that are fleeing for the hills, which is okay. We understand that lots of folks who are Retail investors are looking at this from a very short-term window, and of course that's not the way I look at the markets, not the way you guys probably look at the markets, but it is what it is. So, you know, we could almost draw some, I mean, I wouldn't suggest that there's technical analysis on a token this old, but if I did, same, it's the same channel that we were seeing with Bitcoin and it's Ethereum. So that's the market. So I'll come back. I will stop the screen share. Hide. We're back. Fantastic, guys. Well, we've got a few more people here now. So so my name is Hayden. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Alpha Impact. Very excited to be with you this evening. Actually, I'm exhausted. I have no idea why. Maybe just so much red in the market today. So let's do a quick round of introductions. So I've introduced myself. I'm dialing in from lovely Singapore. Where is everyone dialing in from this evening? Just let me know where you're coming from. If you could say your name, or you could say your screen name, just your country or the continent. So I don't need your address. Never going to ask you for your address. But let me know where you're dialing in from. I'm just going to get a drink just off the screen, so I'll be back in about 2 seconds. All right. So let me know where you're dialing in from. Keen to get to know everyone who's here in the channel. Of course, it is 9 p.m. here in Singapore, 1 p.m. UTC. The other question I wanted to ask while we're typing our introductions are, we're considering actually moving these 1 hour earlier. So let me just ask your feedback. Feedback, move AMA 1 hour earlier. Let me know what you think. And for those that are wondering, I'm drinking ginger ale. This is non-alcoholic beverage. You know, it's a crazy, crazy mixed up world out there. We don't want to be drinking and trading at the same time. That's not the way we do things here. Cheers from Finland, Jane. Nice to see you. Heard about Alpha Impact from Superfarm. Well, thank you. Hello from South Korea, annyeonghaseyo. So what do we think about moving the AMA 1 hour earlier? It would certainly be a little bit easier for us here in the office. Damo from Straya. Hello, g'day, mate. I'm sure 1 hour earlier is fine for you. All right, we might just do that. We might switch the AMA. You know what, let's make an executive decision. We will switch the AMA to 1 hour earlier, 8 p.m. Singapore time. Hello, annyeonghaseyo. 12 p.m. UTC. That should give our Aussie friends, our American friends, although I guess it'd be 8 a.m. US time on the East Coast, and should be good for everyone. So we'll do that. Official announcement. So a couple more announcements. We have our fishing competition. So let me go to our beautiful website and show you. Actually, I don't even know where this competition is. I'll come back to that one. So our fishing competition is extended. Our CZ tweet competition is extended. We have just closed off the staking. So that staking is no longer available. The pool's closed. Really, really excited to have everyone's support. We're probably going to launch some other form of staking at some stage soon. So let us know what you've been seeing in terms of other projects. Really keen to get to know you guys. After all, we're building this program and this platform for you. So we're building our social trading app. We're very excited about that. And our beta testing is actually available now. I think you can sign up and express your interest. So get in there, express your interest to become a beta tester. Really keen to get to know each and every one of you. I think there's 10 spots available. And also let us know. So I'm going to do a poll. Oops, I didn't actually mean for that to be one message. What staking and APY friends have you seen on other platforms? What did you like, not like? So that's question number one. So just let me know in the comments. So I'll let you know what we've been working on this week. Actually, it's only Monday, so we've only been in the office for one day. But getting ready to kick off a big program. As I think you're all aware, we went through Antler, our equity VC, super supportive, and they actually want us to talk to some investors, not for tokens, but to raise equity capital. So that's exciting. We have I did an interview some time ago for a very respectable business newspaper, and that should be coming out very soon as well over the next couple of weeks. Tom Jessup, tell me what you like / did not like. Let me know what's interesting for you, because we have some plans, but I don't just want to make the executive decision. We're trying to be community driven. And in the time that it's going to take us to run this beta testing program, we have to, I mean, think of it like, dinner's not quite ready yet, and we need to have a snack. So I'm interested what kind of snacks the community is interested in. And when I say snacks, I of course mean staking programs, partnerships, all that kind of stuff. So we're probably, and for those that are just joining, welcome. My name is Hayden. I am the co-founder and CEO of Alpha Impact, dialing in from the beautiful office here in Singapore today. Excuse me. And so in terms of next steps for us, we're launching our beta testing. That's happening very soon. What else are we working on? I'm looking at all the stuff that we're doing at our roadmap. It's very exciting. I think we'll actually launch some kind of other staking, like a single asset staking pool as well. Haiku, Berry Fin, do these count? Bancor, Aave, DYDX, Uniswap, Curve, Compound. Nice to get tokens for what I assume is price floor stability, but I would be curious as to what the trade-off is regarding token dilution. Well, Tom, dilution is something that we're very passionate about, passionate about avoiding. What we've actually seen, that's okay. We have a whole bunch of mathematically inclined people, including myself. Although I just kind of make it up as I go. I seem to be right most of the time. But we of course have people that check my work. But I think the net impact has to be that the amount of token supply that you're capturing needs to be the net benefit today has to offset the net, I guess, that offset that's happening in the future. So what that means is if we're capturing X amount of tokens and releasing Y amount of tokens, we need to ensure that the benefit of capturing these X outweighs the value of Y. So obviously having that liquidity pool is very, very important. Bigger liquidity, more liquidity means less volatility in the token. ADA, 5% APY is more sustainable. But would you, Silver DK, great question, great comment. Cardano, 5% APY. Would you be motivated to stake tokens in a 5% pool for impact? I feel like we have to give more. Maybe that's just me. We're certainly not thinking about 5, but we could do one and here's the trade-off. It all comes down to timing. We recognize that investors who are required to lock up tokens for a long period of time, there is some volatility that is inherent in that exercise. If you lock up tokens at this price and then it goes to here, if we're not paying you enough to make up the difference, then it actually is not a very good investment. So we want to make this something that's fair. Our philosophy is we should always give a higher interest rate early on while there's more volatility. But of course, we don't actually want to have so much of an incentive for people to do this that we're releasing loads and loads of tokens downstream. Yeah, I mean, I think 5 would be something that we would do with maybe a very short lockup, Avanice, how big is the impact team now? I think there's 10 of us. Let me count. Yeah, so we've got 8 in the office. More joining. We've made offers, and I think some have been accepted. So yes, we're absolutely. Oh, this is good feedback. So Tom, the D again, Silver DK. This is fantastic. How Haiku, Barry Finn, if there are clear and defined mathematics for the economics of impact tokens, then it should be easy to derive an appropriate staking percentage yield. Well, the confounding variable in that equation is that we don't want to provide a date that we're launching because we're launching in phases, right? And our MVP has this much functionality, and then the next version, it exponentiates from there. And so the risk for us that we do such a calculation, it would be possible, but we would have to make assumptions. And if we were off, number one, the community, and I would suggest maybe not this portion of the community, but of the folks in our Telegram group, I think lots of them would be very, very upset if we said X and then delivered Y. So that's risk number one. Risk number two is that we're tipping the balance in favor of distributing too many tokens later. So I think in my mind, there's risk to that approach. But just to go back to Bavanis, I don't know how to pronounce your name, sir or madam, I'm sorry. So there are 8 of us full-time in the office, although we're still kind of in mini lockdown, so not all in the office at the same time. We have one more person joining us in, let's say, a month or two, and then we're looking to grow to 20 by end of year. So we are hiring Java developers for sure. Here in Singapore, not remote, in Singapore, must be in Singapore. In Singapore, not remote. So if you are remote, or better yet, if you own a development business, please don't message us because we're getting like dozens of those messages. Tom Jessup, are the liquidity numbers on DEX tools correct? Let's take a look. Let's screen share and we'll go and see. So where are we here? Which liquidity numbers are you talking about? Total liquidity. That refers to the, oh, I see, that's the question. So yes, it is correct, but the number fluctuates based on the market value of the liquidity that is in the liquidity pool. I used to have this idea that if it was going down, that people were taking out liquidity. So you can actually see it here, the pooled wrapped F and the pooled impact. So the liquidity in the liquidity pool is in fact a function of those two things, which are volatile. So I haven't done the numbers, and it would be based on, I guess, the value of the LP tokens, which is a theoretical 50-50 mix, although as we know, not quite always 50-50. So it seems accurate to me, yes, that it would be accurate. And obviously the volume is tapered off as well, but we expect that nobody's investing in these tiny small market cap tokens when Bitcoin is selling off. So that would be my view. Good question. We have a very advanced crowd here. But yes, Tom, I was actually looking previously at the Uniswap liquidity page. And on that page, there's a graph and it fluctuates. So it's crazy because I actually didn't understand fully, and I was under the impression that, you know what, let's just look at the graph. Just give me a second, guys. I'm gonna take a few minutes to load this up. I can just find it. So we seem to have a very astute crowd this evening. So and I'll just go back to some of these previous comments. I'm loading a window. 5% more sustainable, 40% seems good, but it's an arbitrary amount. 100% seems insane. 15 to 20 seems reasonable. So that, I mean, 15, 20, 40. And then let's assume for a moment that we were going to do single asset staking, or naked staking, as we call it in the industry. What would be the lockup that you guys would feel comfortable with if you were to do this? The reason I'm asking is that we had 2 pools. You'll be aware that we had the lobster pool and the whale pool for our liquidity pool, and we had almost no interest in the 3-month one. All of the interest was in the 6-month one. So I guess the question is, are you willing to lock up your native or naked staking single assets for a longer time if you get paid more, or is it the case that you want to have a shorter? I mean, what's the driving factor? I'd be interested to understand that from our studio audience. 6 months max. So I'm going to load up a chart, and I want to, so I'll just let everyone, I'll repeat the question. What is the driving factor for single asset staking? Is it the duration or the interest rate? What do you care more about? What are the deal breakers? What do you want to see? What do you not want to see? And Tom, I'm just loading the Uniswap liquidity page because I think it's very interesting. It's amazing how slowly computers go. So we still have that one comment, 6 months max. Here it is. Okay, so we will exit this. Oh no, this isn't what I wanted. Okay, it's gone forever. We're back. 6 months max. Haiku Berryfin, I think it depends on the stage of development of the platform and DApp. If traction is clear, then 6 months is fine, especially if the economics flow through too. Yeah, I mean, we're in the process of modeling what the demand will look like in terms of the flow from our customers. So that's really something that is important for us. I mean, ultimately, we're making projections. We're saying we're going to get this many customers with this much, who are each going to do this many transactions of this size and follow these traders, and therefore the throughput is going to be X, and the I guess we could call it the transaction fee coefficient, so to speak, is going to be Y. So in my mind, that modeling is able to be done, although it's not precise because we're making assumptions. But probably if we did do single asset staking, I would imagine that it would be 3 to 6 months. So our Korean friend who's watching on YouTube, and I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name because I can't read Korean, but 감사합니다 for your question. Biggest factor in Bitcoin's decline. Let's take a look at the news. I'll just share a screen. Bitcoin decline, China news. Yeah, crypto mining crackdown. So let's take a look. This is what this is it. And I don't want to say CNBC got it right, but in a knee-jerk situation, they do tend to call the news as it's happening. So, yeah, below 32,000 for the first time since June 8th. I mean, that's 13 days, big deal. China's crackdown on cryptocurrency mining has extended to the southwestern province of Sichuan. PBOC has urged Alipay and major banks to crack down on crypto trading. And, you know, for the backdrop, I'm sure all of us, or maybe most of us know this, but look at this, Bitcoin mining in Sichuan, China in 2016, back when it was still legal. Of course, most people know this, but China has currency controls, and so they're very focused on avoiding letting people take money out of China. And of course, that what do we know about Bitcoin? It's permissionless, trustless, can't be interfered with. So, so China has intensified its crackdown on cryptocurrency mining. Markets fell down 8%. Ether and XRP tumbled down 11 and 10%. I mean, I'm going to go back to this, but let me just show you. I mean, you need to be very clear-eyed when you're making investment decisions on a day like today. But you know, I tend to just go, and you have to have dry powder for the strategy to work, and you have to also be crazy enough to want to take more risk at this stage. And I understand most people don't. But something that I sometimes do is I say, okay, well, if we are still in a bull market, I can make small bets on some of these coins. Nexo, Doge, not so sure about Doge, but Filecoin, that's been a winner. Zen, that's been a winner. Definity, that's been going down a lot. So you just look at the stuff that's tanked very substantially. And, you know, I would do small, you know, $100 bets, 100, 100, 100, 100, 500, 1,000, whatever it is for you, $10 maybe. And if you're open to holding for the long term, you don't actually need that capital, and you're willing to take the chance that, for example, this could be the bear market, and you know, it might be several years before you see a return. These can be fantastic investments. But of course, that is not for the week. Let me just make sure. China FUD. Okay. Dodoni, 안녕하세요. So many Bitcoin mines in Sichuan were shuttered after authorities ordered a halt to crypto mining. So this is what China is trying to do. They're not anti-crypto. They're anti-crypto mining. They don't want people taking resources and then creating something they can send outside of China. So energy consumption. I always think this is funny when people talk about Bitcoin energy consumption. I mean, let's just take a look. Bitcoin energy consumption versus banking. And I'm a very visual person, so let's just Galaxy Digital. Okay, here you go. Banking system, gold, Bitcoin. So of course, the counter argument here would be that a very tiny proportion of people who, or a very tiny proportion of transactions in the Bitcoin world take this much. When you think about how large the banking industry is, you're looking at, what is the delta, like 110 to 260. So it's like, what, 2.2 times? So Bitcoin on an absolute basis uses less, but it's also a tiny ecosystem. So that would be the counter argument to this. But I think on an absolute basis, it's interesting to take a look. Let's take a look. Energy consumption versus market capitalization. This is crypto only comparing to other crypto. Crypto. Banking system, see this energy expenditure. This is, I don't know what the methodology is here, but it's NASDAQ, so that's a pretty legit source. So anyway, I get very frustrated at this. Let's go back to the article. Dow jumps more than 200 points. I just shorted the US stock market, by the way. Not investment advice, do your own research. I'm not a licensed investment advisor. China often does this. CEO of Crypto Data from Crypto Compare said, when China sneezes, Bitcoin catches a cold. That's cute. But this flexing the regulatory muscle is often just that. In the past 8 years, the story has risen its head at least 3 times, and that's 100% true. They did this in 2013 and in 2017. China's crackdown appears to have led to a decline in hash rate, an estimated, okay, blah, 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 blah. This is all background stuff. Let's look at BTC hash rate. It's always interesting to see. This is not a very useful chart. Okay. See, what I want to overlay is I want to overlay the price. BTC hash rate versus price. And I'm sorry, guys, last year I did this, last week, sorry, I did this beautifully, and I had both, I had all the charts loaded, but we're just kind of going freestyle here. So hash rate, by the way, I used to work at the company that owns Brave New Coin. Great, great publication. Okay, this is not helpful. I'm trying to find the friggin' hash rate versus price. This is it, this is it. I'm just gonna go back to the window. How did you meet Austin? I will update that shortly. Here, now, this is going way too far back, so we need to zoom in to here. All right. This is, you can't see, it's not, this is not what I want. Maybe it's mining difficulty. Mining difficulty versus price, BTC. Let's look. Okay. We'll try one more, and if this doesn't work, we'll actually just go back to the channel. I feel like this actually does have the functionality we need. Anyway, we're seeing a decline in, let's go back 3 years. So when was our first big decline? That was at the bottom, remember that? Massive decline, December 2018. Bottom, this was a bottom. Remember March, I know we all remember March last year. This was kind of a fake bottom. But the point is, here, remember this, November 2020, that was a bearish month. And then bottom, and then a dramatic decline. So whenever we see dramatic declines in the Bitcoin difficulty, that is of course an expression of, well, how much hash rate is there, and they tend to affect the price, or they tends to be a leading indicator. So let's go back, we'll hide this. I'm back. All right. Wow, Tom, you have a lot of questions, my friend. I don't know if I need to like do a KYC check. This is classified. No, I'm joking. When does Alpha Impact plan on delivering the finished platform? I think we've been saying we're launching the platform in Q3, and then our roadmap leads into Q1 next year. Question: what was your involvement in crypto before making Alpha Impact? I was the head of distribution at an investment bank that raised capital for crypto companies. The one that owned that company, Brave New Coin. They sent me to Singapore, so I started in 2017, and they sent me to Singapore, and that was when, when I started living in Singapore. Tom Jessup, how did you meet Austin? We met socially a few years ago, and then kind of re-met in Antler last year. RH Fitness bear market. Is that a question or a statement? I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Sir, it looks like you're a sir. I don't want to assume gender, but that's a clear. Question: are there plans to put the roadmap on CoinMarketcal? No, that's okay, Tom. We are here for you. If anything, I felt guilty over the weekend, but my girlfriend does need me to spend some time with her. I can't be available for you guys 7 days a week. Yes, we're putting the roadmap on CoinMarketcal. Our team is working on it. Let me just actually make a little note. You know what I'll do? I'll take a photo. Okay, this is how I send my team comments from our channel. Okay, there you go. How's my Singlish? Well, it's enough. I mean, Singlish. It's not really a language. For those not in Singapore, Singlish is I guess like a kind of an accent with some slang mixed in. That's the Singaporean flavor of English. I think I can hold my own. I mean, in a hawker center, I can order coffee, kopi si kosong. That's usually enough to impress the aunties in the hawker center. Oh, have we lost? Okay. And then in the hawker center, then the aunties usually say, "Oh, ang mo, very power." If I can say one thing in Chinese, and I could say it in Mandarin as well. So I think this English is hi hao. Great. RH Fitness, thank you for joining us, my friend. Let me know your thoughts on the market. You've said bear market. Keen to hear a little bit more. Let's actually go back. We can take a look at the general markets to see how things are going. So we're scrolling way back in time. So we will catch up to present day any moment. Oops. All right. Looks like we're holding. I want to say we're holding, and it does look like we're holding. You can kind of see, I mean, we could even put that there, right? That would be, look at that. Look at how beautiful that line is. It is an ascending line. We bumped above this line, and we told you here, this is a good place to take profits. And we've said we think it's going to test the line. It's actually gone down below the line. So two ways to look at it. Either way, I think if we are in a bear market, we're still going to come back up because we're still oversold on these indicators that we're looking at. So let's zoom out a little bit, take a look at the daily. So yeah, I mean, look at that. That channel is just, you just never see a straight down without some recovery. So I would expect, I mean, look at it. Down, up, down, up, down, up. There's always an up. So I would expect a recovery to at least here and probably closer to the high 40s. That would be my approach. By the way, guys, I've never asked you this before. I need to start asking now. For those of us on YouTube, please subscribe. Do you say like and subscribe? I think just subscribe and tick the little bell icon so that you get updates. We're testing this new functionality where we say we're going to be going live in X number of hours. Excited to see the roadmap roll out. So am I, Crypto Nova, aka Crypto Skiz. We're very excited. Getting some good engagement from YouTube this evening. This is fantastic. Haiku Berry Fin transaction fee coefficient sounds like a good metric. Yeah, it's. I've always been just to come back to this, quantifying and creating a token throughput model. I've always been very attracted to this idea of, the data, and you could model, for example, the performance of the BNB token, um, and the covariate inputs, I guess you could say, would be the other variables in that equation would be, you would be modeling the correlation between the BNB token and Bitcoin's price and um, the transaction volume on Binance on that day. So I'm attracted to this idea that there is like kind of an intrinsic value for exchange tokens, and we're not really an exchange, but you could argue that the same economic drivers are there. However, does not pay the bills to do research. And, as the guys at Glassnode can tell you, it's a painstaking, brutal journey. And I'm not a PhD engineer, guy. I'm a lawyer. So, okay, Silver DK, you made a comment about staking, and I totally missed it. 7 days unlock period minimum could be okay, like some on staking protocols, but true lockup of 30, 60, 90, I would sign up for. If people are locked up, it's also attractive for a user being able to withdraw their staking rewards. So Silver DK, do you mean that you would want to withdraw your rewards, but not your principal in such a scenario? I think we probably will have some variation of this. An unlock period. Um, okay, Tom, I'm going to just go back up and if people are locked up, it's attractive for user. Oh, okay, so we probably would not allow you to withdraw rewards early. That would not be something that we would be cool with. So good discussion point. Bavin Nace, the tutorial vids on your YouTube channel look great and are well edited. However, any chance your team can throw together some attractive thumbnails before uploading? Okay, let me take a photo of that and share it with our team. Question, what do you usually say to people that say eToro doesn't need a token, so why do you? No one's ever said that to us. So this would be the first time that anyone's ever asked. And I would say eToro is a custodial platform that their business is to facilitate as many trades as possible. And their way of educating investors is by asking them to trade. And our way of educating is to say, you can learn and follow a top trader and you can do a whole bunch of stuff without having to actually trade. And you never have to deposit funds ever. So that would be my philosophical response. But no one's ever said that before. No crypto investors have ever asked us about eToro. So good to see the question. Subscribe today. Thank you, Tom. Tom, where are you typing in or dialing in from, sir? I think you're a sir or madam. Let me know where in the world you are. So Bavinice, that's a great piece of feedback. I'm going to share right now with our team so they know we actually have a channel just for this purpose. It's amazing. Great. So waiting for Tom to tell me where he or she is dialing in from. Any last questions, guys? I'm open to holding the fort, keeping the floor open. Always here for you guys, our community. As you know, we're very pro community. You know, we're here for you guys. South Korea, lovely. Okay. Do you guys have any suggestions for us? There's lots of Impact has strong crew here in South Korea. Fantastic. Lovely to have you guys with us. Open to hearing any feedback about our platform or us launching or staking. What do you have planned for marketing going forward? Well, we could run these amazing AMAs 4 nights a week, assuming a summer recovery. Well, I think the big challenge is really can we solve a pain point for customers who aren't yet in crypto? So the focus for us is on building this platform to grow the size of the crypto industry. We can't just grow the industry by targeting the same people. So what that means is that we have to make this make sense. So in my mind, that would include things like a simulation account, the ability to actually earn crypto for completing educational tasks, the ability, I mean, gamification, um, redoing the vector art for the logo. All right, this is good feedback. Thank you. Yeah, so the approach very clearly for me is how do we make this make sense for the whole world? And obviously we need to educate. So I would imagine that there would be lots of partnerships. I would imagine that we actually have two customer segments right now, right? So we've got people who, the 85% who are not yet in crypto, and then we still have the 15% who are in crypto. So in my mind, there's actually two different strategies you need on both sides of the fence. So stay tuned. We'll be here every night, 12 p.m. UTC for the AMAs, except Wednesday this week. I have a conflict on Wednesdays. So we'll be tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. So that's our vision. That's our approach. That's our strategy. How do you get AI in front of people's eyeballs? Well, I think that we have a number of traditional media kind of partnerships that we're just starting to launch now. So we get AI in front of people's eyeballs by having people write about us. I really like this idea of they have these coding boot camps. If we could help people, like a trading boot camp where you could trade for free, learn to trade, that at least on a local level would be something that's very interesting for us and certainly would scale internationally. So there's that. There's traditional ads. There's earned ads. I think we've done a good job so far with our social media. Obviously, more we can do. If we're going further into a bear market, maybe market your product to follow traders who aren't afraid to short markets. I always feel that the mass public aren't as versed in shorting as traders are. Well, I just went short a few things before this, and I could tell you I'm underwater on all those positions because the market's gone up. However, are we recovering? Let's take a look. Oh, this might be it. Let's see. There's green candles. I'm going to share the screen. Very exciting. This is the 30-minute. So, I mean, I wouldn't want to zoom in too much further, but yeah, so there you go. We had a double barrel shotgun. I'm sure that's not the correct term, around 31. And this wood, look at that, beautiful. I did actually go long a little bit as well. So let's just zoom out. So we've talked a little bit about this. See this beautiful upward trending line on the daily. I think it matches up perfectly. So this does actually support the notion that we are at least in this term, we're in a rising market in terms of the bottom. And oh, look at that, rising in terms of the top as well. So we've got a ways to go. I would expect that it will jump around on its way up to the high 40s. So not all is lost, my friends. Do not worry. You can spin impact as making money on the way down. I'm not sure that that's the right messaging. That's not how we'd want to talk about it. But I think there's something there in terms of diversifying risk strategies. Will there be any events when the platform is opened? For example, trading events? Well, it's a great question. Donedo, was that your name? Let me scroll up. Dodoni. All right. I don't know if you're Dodoni or not. Actually, maybe you're not. No, maybe. Okay, anyway, Dodoni. Yes, we're having a trading competition happening very soon. And this will be part of our signals mining, which is launching soon. So the idea is that traders there'll be a lobster, shrimp, and whale competition. They'll be competing and they will be able to win great prizes. So that trading event is opening very soon. That's actually one of the first things we're launching. It's not the first. Don't say on the Telegram channel you said it's going to be first. It's not going to be first. First is beta testing. We're very excited about that. So don't forget, for those of us here on YouTube, like and subscribe. Okay. Fantastic. Well, guys, we have a lot of people from our South Korean community here tonight. Great to see you all here. Lovely to be with you this evening. Okay, I think we'll close it off shortly. If there's any last questions or comments, let me know. Otherwise, we'll call it a night and we'll be back tomorrow. I just want to check the Bitcoin price. It looks like, oh, we are slightly recovering. Okay, I see green candles, everyone. I see 3 of them. Chris Banjo, great question. I have no idea what's in my schedule, but happy to chat. Please message me on Telegram. We'll finalize that. No problem. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Lovely to spend time with you this evening. Namaste. Thank you for joining us. And remember, don't just trade crypto, trade with impact. Have a great night, everyone.